This Saturday, a group of World War II vets is heading to Washington to visit the memorial in their honor.
Ahead of the trip, WFMZ's John Craven talked to two members of the greatest generation about their war stories.
And we begin with Hank Kudzik of Catasauqua.
I was 16 on December 7th, 1941, the day that would live in infamy.
Hank Kudzik is 87 today, but at the dawn of World War II,
This boy I'm talking about had no idea what war was like.
still Hank knew he had to go.
It got to me, this thing. I wanted to be part of it.
Hank arrived at Pearl Harbor just weeks after the Japanese bombing.
My first work detail, removing human remains from the Oklahoma. Not very pleasant at all.
He was assigned to the Navy's first atomic submarine, the Nautilus. Before long, the Nautilus would play a role in one of the most decisive engagements of the war.
We broke their back at Midway.
Midway Island, June 1942, a must-win battle for the U.S. If the Japanese held it, they could launch attacks on California.
The Japanese lost 4 aircraft carriers at Midway. The last one was getting away.
Until Hank, steering the Nautilus, caught up to it.
Didn't have any chance. He cut him right in half.
The picture made Life magazine. The Nautilus went on to sink 27 enemy ships. But what Hank most remembers,
We call it the night to remember.
is a daring nighttime rescue of nuns and children.
5 hours after we took them off of Bougainville, the full force of the Navy and the Marines hit Bougainville and completely tore it apart.
After the war, Hank married the high school sweetheart he's still with today. His grandson is a former Marine and now police officer. Tomorrow night, we'll introduce you to an ex-sailor who helped land Marines on the beaches of Okinawa. But the love story he found when he came home will inspire you. Back to you.
Well, there's a reason a lot of people call it the greatest generation.
Yeah, those stories are always amazing to hear.
Incredible. And as we mentioned, Hank and a group of local World War II vets will go to Washington this weekend to visit the National Memorial.
Our John Craven will be following along. He'll report on the journey this Saturday on 69 News at 6 and at 10.
All right, now